started already. Cool, so we're gonna actually start with the ball underneath the right knee. No, that's a lie. It's not underneath the right knee. It's your knee is on the floor and it's underneath your shin. That's what I want. And the left leg comes all the way out, shoulders down, elbows wrapped back. Great, from here you take a nice deep inhale, curling, stretching out your spine here. And then exhaling on your way back, engaging the belly and just slowly floating the left leg up. So we're trying to use this curl through the middle as that nice expansion. Exhaling, elbows back, engaging the belly, and then slowly float. Now throughout this warm-up move here, let's make sure that the right toes are still pretty actively pointed and that you're not sitting into the right hip. Good, 2 more to go. And checking if we can actually open up the chest even more without necessarily arching the back. Great, your last full time here. Great, taking another calibration moment, engaging the belly, lifting up this left leg, and then slowly and steadily lowering down. And on this next lift up, I want you to reach the right arm out. And then slowly, it's almost like you're dragging your hands back to the floor. So you can notice how little contact you want or how much. If you feel like this extra bit of arm is all just not where you're at today, by all means, put your hand back on the floor. Or if you don't actually really like the way that your right leg feels on the ball, you can always put it down. Great, we have another 3. Engaging the belly, lifting for 2. And again, checking how that spine is extended all the way out from the crown of your head, down your neck, out to your tailbone. Last time, 1. Awesome, hand comes down, checking the toes, opening up your chest. And slowly and steadily lifting that right knee off the floor. So you're inhaling, right knee comes in. And then exhale, stretch your leg out so it comes off the ball for a moment. And if the ball rolls around, it's totally okay. You're just trying to extend the leg a little bit higher. Ideally, it'll stay put, and if it doesn't, no stress. Great, we have another 2. And the goal here is still to stabilize the whole body and just allow for that right leg to move. Great, finding your way back to the center, right knee comes down, left knee follows, and then gently sit yourself back, stretching out your arms all the way here. Great, take a breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding your way all the way back to the middle, and then shifting the ball over to the left side. So remember, your left knee is on the floor, left toes are pointed, right leg is all the way long, arms are stacked, elbows are back. Inhaling, curling through the middle. And as you slowly find your way up, you're lengthening that right leg out, keeping the hips parallel to the floor. Noticing that we're not tucking or arching more than necessary. We find the length all the way out, shoulders back, elbows long, lengthen up. Great, we have 3 more. Great, and engaging as we slowly expand the breath sideways. Exhale, belly comes up. And then your last time here. Great, recalibrating, noticing where you need to adjust, if at all. And slowly floating this right leg up and simultaneously extending that left arm long. And then kind of dragging your hands along the mat. It's gonna say foot and hand and it came out as face, I love it. So, picking and choosing your battles, everyone, right? If you feel like, hey, I feel really unstable, or this is just not where I'm at today, take the ball away, keep the left hand down. Just notice what feels comfortably challenging. Great, we have another 4. And see if you can push just that much more away with your fingertips. Can you use the feeling of the breath expanding to reach, and then exhale, come back a tiny bit more. Good, last one here. Super, grounding that right foot down, opening up. And then bringing the left knee off of the floor. Slowly bringing that left knee in towards the center and then stretching out that left leg. Now, trying to find contact with the ball again, but even if you don't, totally okay. Inhaling, knee comes in, engaging the belly, opening up, length and long. Good, we got 2 more. And then your last time here. Excellent. Come into a nice plank position, holding here for a moment, and then slowly bending your knees down, shifting your weight all the way back, almost catching the ball with the inner ankles. So you're kind of just sitting on it for a second, allowing your upper body just to melt as much as you can. Forehead comes to the floor, and we rest for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Slowly come back to the center. And let's see if we can squeeze the ball with the inner ankles. Cool. And then reach and lift just a moment here. So slowly take a nice deep breath, squeezing the ball as you lower down. Elbows come back, engage and squeeze up. So if this feels awkward on your knees, feel free to double fold your mat or put a blanket. I want us to really focus on that squeeze of the ankle and not go anywhere with the rest of the body. We're engaging the glutes as we come on up as well as the belly. And you're trying to see how much of your leg can you activate in order to squeeze this happy little ball. Great, opening up a tiny bit more. We have 3. Feeling how like the inner thighs all the way down to the calves are activated for 2. Great, last time here for 1. Slowly and steadily make your way down onto your forearms and then lengthen just a bit more so you're kind of in like a cool shaped plank. And from here we squeeze and squeeze. So again, your chest is open, your belly are engaged, and you're lifting. So you're not directly over your knees like we typically are for all 4s. There is a nice little amount of lean forward, but your shoulders are over your elbows, and if this feels awkward or not where you're at, just put your legs down and just hold. We have another 5. Keep the belly lifted, chest stays open for 4, 3, 2, and a nice amount of breath coming up for 1. Great, slowly and steadily stretch out your legs, and then find your hips coming down to the floor. That was so cool, look at that. And then you're already in this nice little cobra-like position. Great, squeezing the ball again, reaching towards you, and then exhale, extend. That even surprised me. Sometimes these transitions in my head, they're like, yeah, this is great, and then it doesn't work, and then sometimes it does, cool. So what I want you to notice is, can you lift your hips like a tiny bit off the floor? So not that you're arching that way, right? But you'll notice that like, actually I can lift my hips a tiny bit, still maintain my whole spine length, and activate my belly this way. Great, we have another 3. And you're squeezing in both directions, and when you get to the top, you're just releasing. Sorry, when you get out, you're releasing a bit. So you're inhaling, squeezing on in. Keep squeezing as you exhale, slowly release. And your last moment here. And then all the way back. Great, slowly put your feet down, and then bring your hands on top of each other. Forehead, gets glued to your hands for the moment. Take a nice deep inhale, slightly and steadily. Today the words are just not coming out right. Slowly and steadily, please. Squeezing the ball and lifting your legs up just a little bit. And see if you can turn out your knees a tiny bit. So not like your knees are down, but slightly rotated out, kind of activating a different part of your glutes. And from here, we slowly take an inhale. Exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders off of the floor. And we squeeze the ball as we circle those arms around. Finding our way back to the center. And slowly and steadily lowering down. Let's try that again. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, circle around and back. Great. Inhale, hold. And exhale, lower. Cool. 3 more. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale. And then exhale, circle around. It's almost like we're making our exhale even longer than our inhale. Inhale, recalibrate, squeeze. Exhale, lower down. Awesome, 2 more. So remember, you're only lifting as much as your body feels comfortable doing so. You're allowing your breath to comfortably support you in your reach and length. Great, take another deep inhale as you hold here. And then exhale, melt yourself down. Awesomeness, last time. Inhale, smile and prepare. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Great, inhale, get your new fresh breath of air. Exhale, circle. Inhale, coming back to the middle and holding. And exhale, lower. Cool, hands come underneath you, shifting your weight all the way back, allowing for that spine to stretch, shoulders to wiggle. Cool. And let's come all the way onto the side where we have our cozy position for now. Great. Left leg is all the way on the floor for the moment. Hand goes into the ball, fingers forward facing, elbow down. And we bring this right knee in towards us, so it's almost like directionally facing the elbow. Great, flexing the bottom foot and lifting the bottom foot off the floor. So you're squeezing, pushing down on the ball as the right leg goes out, and then finding your way back to the center. So if at some point you notice, hey, I really don't want to hold my left leg up anymore, you can always put it down. Just see what little mini challenge can you add to yourself right now. And for now, you'll notice that your right hip is slightly behind your left, but hopefully not too much. We're still not just collapsing, we're noticing that we're shifting our weight a tiny bit. Great. Let's do another 4. So again, pushing down as much or as little as you want on this ball. And if you feel like, hey, I don't like the ball either, just put your hands directly on the mat. Super, 2 more. And then your last full one here. Great, bringing both knees in towards each other. And now I want you to restack your hips. Great, from here we're slowly pushing, shifting out a little bit as you stretch out both legs, and then find your way back. So we're keeping the hand nice and close. The hips aren't going anywhere. You're simply stretching out your legs, using your obliques, and then finding your way slowly back to the center. Great, 3 more without anything but the legs. And you'll notice this is a very active right oblique, or at least that's where I feel it, holding in that side body. And let's use that push of the breath to stretch out the legs completely and find that focal point that allows us to be present and aware. Great. Reaching the fingertips away from you now. We're slowly stretching as we reach and then coming on back. So we're doing the same move for the next 5 times, just adding that ball reach as you lengthen and then finding that way back. Melting the right shoulder even more down your back. And again, if you feel like you even want to come down to the floor this way, you may absolutely do that. And sensing, where can you reach a tiny bit more? Can you create even more length? As you stretch out that whole body, noticing your arm is long, your toes are long, your spine is long, and then all the way back. Great, your last full moment here. And keeping the lower leg where it is, let's lengthen up and lower the right leg. For 5, pushing down into the ball with the arm. For 4. I said I have energy, but not speedy, right? Just very present. 3. Keep on pushing into that ball for 2. And finding a little bit more reach with those top toes for 1. Awesome, finding your way back to the center, take a deep breath. Great, pushing into the ball, finding our way all the way up into a nice mermaid position. Left fingertips are going out to the side, right arm comes all the way to the right ankle. And let's slowly stretch up and over, giving our side body on the right a nice amount of reach as we circle around. And then exhale, finding our way back to our other side, but not shifting the lower half of us. So we're almost just making this rainbow shape with the right arm only, twisting a bit towards that left hand. Exhale, opening up, adding a little bit of twist in the spine. Good, 3 more. And remember, every time we move, we create another opportunity for a little bit more reach, right? It's not that it all happens at once. You get to just slowly talk with yourself and just listen to the messages. And all the way back. Awesome. Finding your way into a nice seated position. Let's shift our weight all the way over to the other side. And find our way into our cozy other side. So remember, if at any point you want, you can always put your head down, no problem whatsoever. So for our starting point, the fingertips are forward facing. Your right bottom leg goes out. Give it a nice little flex first, and then bringing your left knee a tiny bit up and bringing the knee in towards you, pushing down in towards the ball and lengthening that right leg, hovering off the floor. Great, so you bring the knee a little bit closer as you inhale, and then exhale, stretch it out. Now you can play around with when you push down into the ball, if at all. Or you can just keep like a constant push if you'd like, if that feels better. Or as always, you can just put your hands on the floor. The main goal is still that stillness through the torso. And trying to keep the right leg really actively holding as that left leg embraces movement. We have another 4. And seeing if you can find a way to make this meditative. So I find this very meditative. I know it's not for everyone in that feeling, but like just to bring your awareness to as many body parts as possible. How do your shoulders feel? How does the right inner thigh feel? How does your left glute feel? Do you feel relaxed but active? Do you feel stressed and tense? And again, it's never the judgment, it's just like, curiously observing. Cool, last full time here. Awesome. And then slowly bringing your knees back to your center and finding your nice amount of reach. Cool, fingertips going away for now. Pushing into the ball, slowly stretching out your legs. And then engaging the belly, noticing your way back. And seeing, do you want to use the push of the ball to help? Or you don't need it? And if you're pushing, just make sure that we're not, none of this. We're using that whole shape of the arm so that we can evenly distribute it, all of the power that's going into the ball from the belly and the arm. And finding your way back. Cool, last 2 here. I love this feeling of like consistency of speed, right? Like it's a little bit challenging to keep it slow in one direction, or more challenging, but just noticing how you still can do that. Great, let's start adding those arm rolls out. So you're stretching that left arm and then finding your way back. And noticing that the left elbow each time can come a little bit closer to the body. Maybe even reaching beyond the left hip, maybe not. Great, the next 3. And even if we're very much supported by the floor on the right side body, you have choices here, right? You can say like, hey, I feel grounded and I want to ground that right side in, or you can almost like lift the right side a tiny bit off of the mat, just for a different feeling and like a little bit more air coming through. Maybe not, just decide.
arm there, keeping the right leg long. You're lifting that left leg up and lowering it down. Feeling how the ball helps to stabilize you. How the torso is quiet in order to lengthen that left leg. Cool. Another 3. And kind of embracing the slowness as to something that is welcomed rather than frustrating. I know it's sometimes hard to slow down, but that's invited here. Awesome, in your last full time. And slowly bringing your feet back to the center. Ball comes in, pushing yourself all the way up. And then bringing the right hand out to the side, starting with your left hand with the ball on your left ankle. And then slowly twisting to the side. And keeping that reach as you open up. Great, 4 more. So again, seeing how you can add a little bit more twist from the waist or not, right? Maybe you just say, hey, I just want to swing my arm or just move my arm. That's okay as well. But if you find yourself pushing a little bit more into your right hand as you twist, you can kind of create a little bit more of that belly twist. Great, last full time here. Awesome. Let's find our way into the middle. Squeezing the ball on the inner thighs for me here. Hands come underneath the knees, sitting up nice and tall, and bring the insides of your feet together. Great. Let's slowly curl through the center for a moment and just notice again what's happening. Do you feel warm already in many places? Hopefully the answer is yes. And then exhale, stacking back up. Great. Let's inhale, prepare. And then exhale, use the belly, squeezing the legs just a little bit more. Really using that whole focus of the curl and then the unfold. Last time, inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze as we curl down. Great, inhaling here. And then exhale all the way back. Awesome, slowly finding your extension. There we go. And then let's curl 1 vertebrae at a time, finding your way down towards the lower floor, bringing your knees just a little bit closer towards you. Hands come behind your head. Great, we're bringing our right hand, it's happening again, our right hand and our right arm all the way down. From here, bringing your right thumb up to the diagonal. I know, you're bearing with me, I got it. You're squeezing the ball as you bring the arm all the way up to that like cutting space position. And then squeezing as you lift your knees all the way into the center, kind of trying to chop the bottom part of your right foot. So we're inhaling, opening up, tapping down, and exhale, cutting space. Get 3 more in this direction. So using your thumb as your guide and squeezing that ball as you come back up. You can also squeeze as you go down. I just want like a release in one direction. You get to choose. And noticing again how your hips don't go anywhere, right? That breath moves through you, but you're not going anywhere with the hips. All right, let's stop here, facing the palm downward. So now you're guiding with your pinky, and you just notice that you have to use a different part of your arm. So the movement itself is still the same. You're just kind of activating that back part of your shoulder, your deltoid, and just reaching wide and coming on back. Good. 4 more, please. Inhale, nice happy squeeze. Exhale, find your way back. And that slow reach. And just noticing, even if we're kind of like in a package position with that lower half, how nice it feels for the upper half just to stretch a bit more. And your last full moment here. come behind your head, feet go back down on the floor, and just melt your upper body down for me for 3, 2, and 1. Great. Ball is coming underneath your back, please. There we go. And finding a nice open T position here. And just wiggling for a second your hips back and forth, making sure your lower back is happy, reaching this right arm, right leg up, left leg all the way up, and finding your balance point. If you feel like that's too much, just feel free to give yourself a nice little bend. Great, we're rotating our knees outward facing, so you're basically rotating from the hips. We're opening the legs to a nice V shape, wherever that is, giving ourselves a nice little flex. And then meeting our feet in the middle. Great, squeezing the knees back together, pointing the toes, and then stretching them up. So we're trying to take up space here, everyone. Open the knees, slowly open the legs to your nice V shape. When you get there, you give yourself a nice little flex. Great, engaging the belly as you meet your heels together, maybe even lowering your legs a tiny bit, squeezing them together, pointing those toes, and then using that belly to bring the knees and stretch your legs all the way up to the top. Great, let's try that 3 more times. Inhaling, opening. Exhaling, flex and close. Inhale, squeeze your knees together and point. And exhale, extend. So you may even notice how while doing this, your body almost allows you to have a little bit more range of motion, right? It's almost like you trust yourself to lower a tiny bit more with the heels, maybe not, but you're trying to figure out where can you create, yes, just a bit more space. Can you allow your legs to open just a bit more? You're stretching here simultaneously as we're using the belly to activate and tap. Good. Knees come back together and point. And then you gently bring your knees back into your center point and reach those legs all the way long. Super slowly and steadily put the soles of your feet back down on the floor for 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the feet a little bit wider than we did before. And just gently bring the hips to the left and to the right. So kind of noticing how you can find a little bit more wiggle space here. We have 3. It's almost like the hip comes up. It's like you're making a little bit of a dip up and then a dip up. And your last full time here. Cool. Walking your feet back towards the center. Slowly lift your hips up, remove the ball, and then melt your spine down 1 vertebrae at a time on 3, 2, and 1. Great. Feet go back together. Ball goes in between your inner thighs again. Taking that nice, deep, reachy inhale. And then exhale, peeling yourself off the floor, head, neck, and shoulders follow. Good. Right hand behind your head. At this moment, your left thumb is at your diagonal, and we're reaching all the way here on your inhale. Exhale, squeezing the ball, coming on back. So remember, you're finding the amount of reach that feels good. If you even feel like you want to reach your legs a tiny bit further away, please feel free to do so. Inhaling, opening. Exhale, belly back. And see if you can really invite the ribs to open on that breath, and then try and reweave them together. I know it's like a tricky concept, and it's still something that doesn't always happen on its own. Good. Last 2 here. And then that full squeeze and reach. Great. Palm is coming down, so now you're guiding with the left pinky, right? You're pushing up that way. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, you don't have to make it so big. It's just a matter of like changing that direction of the arm for both usage and mobility, and allowing your body just to send something different, even if the move is the same. We have 3. Reaching for 2. And then your last time here. Excellent. Hands behind your head, feet come down on the floor, and just melt your spine down on 3, 2, and 1. Cool. Flexing those feet all the way for me. Let's bring the ball all the way up, nice and long. And then circle your arms around, head, neck, and shoulders come up, and we lengthen up to a tall seated position. Great, from here you're gonna slowly curl forward, staking with the ball in the right hand for a moment. Let's circle the ball around us, seeing if we can reach the arms just a bit more. Back into the right hand. Good, inhale a tiny bit longer. And then exhale, belly goes back, reaching slowly. Slowly. I still love this move and I always will. Just the concept of the roll up, it just feels great. Great, ball goes into the left hand now, inhaling here. Exhale, circling your arms around, head, neck, and shoulders follow, and we come up to our tall seated position first. Great, inhale up. Exhale, curl for that spine stretch forward. Super. So remember, when we're here, we're not collapsing, but we're still allowing for a reach, and we're still lengthening the belly through the spine. Great. Inhaling here, and then exhale, lower down. Feeling free to do this later, because I just do it sometimes just because it feels so great. Great. Let's bring the ball in between both hands. Take a nice inhale. Squeezing and coming all the way up to your nice tall seated position. Alrighty, so let's try something else today. We're gonna start with the ball behind the right leg, and we're coming down into a position here for the moment where your left arm is at your 90-degree angle, your right fingertips are making a T, your left toes are tucked. Great. Slowly and steadily lifting up that right knee and just noticing how that feels. Okay, if you feel stable enough, feeling free to put your right hand behind your head and opening that whole shape. If you're wobbly, it's okay. I'm wobbly too. Great. And then we did say slowly, right? Slowly finding your way back down towards the center. Cool. Inhaling, opening. And if you say like, you know what, actually, I don't need this whole body move, you can also just, did it before, it didn't seem so hard. Now it feels harder. To keep the right hand on the floor and just focus on the lower half. Damn, I love challenges, don't you? Good. Last time, nope, 2 more. And then your last one here. Awesome. Let's put that right hand down for the moment. And now let's open off just that right hip for me. Swinging that right knee towards the right elbow. Lifting that leg up and then squeezing it down. So you have like a lift of the leg, an elbow tap, a reach back, and then a close. So there is a slight openness to that right hip. And you may even allow for like a little bit of a crunch at the top. So I'm not asking you to actually touch your knee to your elbow, but if you feel like you can just curl a tiny bit for like a nice inner hug, go for it if it feels good. Last 2. Fantastic, and then your last reaching move here. Finding again that breath to support, focusing all the way through the center. And then closing here. Great, bringing the ball out from underneath and reaching back. I did this like a bunch of times today, feels much harder. Huh, it's okay. Just means our bodies are working, right? Alrighty, so let's try that other side. Ball goes behind the left. Right arm comes down, left arm is in your T, lifting up that left leg and then opening it up. And again, tucking your right toes or not. Oh, I think I need to do that. Yeah,
And then grounding, bringing your left hand behind your head if you'd like. And opening here. And then slowly and steadily closing. Wow. Inhale, open. It's okay. I like the wobble. Maybe you're not wobbling at all. Maybe you're super grounded. Great. 3 more. And focused. Are you focused, everyone? Using that belly. And then your last full time here. Great. Left hand comes down. Reestablish your focus. And then open that left knee here. So remember, we're squeezing, bringing that left knee towards the left elbow, finding your way back and keeping that knee up and just closing from there, right? So that you have that nice crossed feeling. That you can notice how your left knee just stays open so that that hip can squeeze but maintain that space for more. Cool. 3 more here. And can you notice how you still can push away, right? So we don't, I know it's sometimes hard to like not sink, but let's think about creating as much space between the arms and the chest as possible. Last full moment. Inhaling, curling in towards the center. And then exhale, squeeze and lower. Great. Finding your way back to the center, taking the ball all the way out. Opening up your knees and rolling back for me here. Great. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Rolling all the way back up to your nice tall seated position. Cool. So let's come to the front edge for just a nice little bit of a spine reach. So you're opening your feet to your mat with bringing the ball into the center, squeezing it. Elbows are nice and down. You're hinging back for me just a bit. So remember, if you feel like you need to dig your heels, bend your knees, do that. You're squeezing into the ball. We're gently twisting towards the right, reaching the arms all the way up, whatever your all the way up is. Exhale, squeeze back to the center, chest down, elbows wide, back towards the middle, and then hinge yourself back up. Great. Inhale, hinge back. Exhale, twist to the left. Great, engaging the belly. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, squeezing back. Great, inhale, twisting back to the middle. And exhale, over. Over meaning up. Good. Inhale, hinge back and squeeze. Exhale, twist to the right. And remember that twist happens from the belly button up. And we notice where our stopping point is. Where do we need to come up a little bit more? Are we engaging the thighs so much right now? If you need to release your thighs a little bit, do so by bending your knees, right? That might even be more of an awareness where you're holding yourself from. Great. Inhale, squeezing back to the middle. And exhale, twist. Great, finding your space for your last one here, deciding how you want your legs to be. Inhaling, squeeze and hinge back. Exhale, twist. And again, it's like we're dancing through space super slowly. Great. Back to the middle. Cool. Last full one. Inhale, squeeze and hinge, releasing those hips. Focusing on that belly button up, twist and holding from that oblique as you reach the arms up, bringing the breath all the way back towards your center. Great. Inhale, twisting back to the middle, and exhale up. Cool. Bringing both legs. My thighs are also really sore from yesterday, so thank you, thighs. Bringing the ball in front of you and just allowing that upper body to melt. your hips to release, your knees to drop down. Take another inhale, and then exhale, slowly roll a little bit more. Great, inhale again, and then find your way all the way back up on 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bringing your knees parallel to one another, rolling down for me just for a moment as your knees come in towards the center, and we squeeze and we reach out for 5. Slowly and steady squeezing, coming on back for 4. Noticing how that ball helps you release and reach that V shape for 3. Inhaling, and then release for 2. Your last full time here for 1. Great, knees come into your tabletop position. Let's see if we can rock on up. Open up the chest and then release for our last little teaser. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Thank you, ball, for your service. Hands come next to you. Shift your weight forward. Open up those legs. Allow your upper body to hang nice and long, bending your right leg and your left. And just that upper body feeling of just heaviness for the moment. Great, and here is where we say yes to everything that fits our vision of what we'd like our life to be, and we actively say no to everything else. I'm going to take another inhale. Exhale, slowly rolling on up on 5, 4, 3, 2,